good.
Matt Wiswesser.
Yes, sir.
House, all right.
Yep.
TACFIT team leader.
Yes, sir.
You know, you've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now for
Just shy of 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Brown belt.
Brown belt. Yes.
It's awesome competing.
Yeah. Trying to.
Excuse my voice, you know.
Now, yeah, we're starting to teach jiu-jitsu classes now.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Awesome.
it's an experience.
Awesome.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been. We got so excited about the certifications we have that I lost my voice yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're doing a club bell, right? Certification this today and tomorrow, and then we have the TACFIT certifications, right?
The following couple 2 days after
Right.
that. Yeah.
Scott Son is coming in tonight.
Tonight. Yep. So we'll see him tonight and get after it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you known Scott for?
Oh, it's funny. Before I flew out here, I was actually trying to think about when it was. I think we're like 32. So yeah, like 9 years, 10 years.
So you're like 20?
Yeah, it's 22. It's actually an interesting story of like how I met him. So
Because I've seen some old pictures.
yeah,
And you're like pretty much a kid.
yeah,
Look
like
like
a
a
child. Yeah. So
Like you're a man all yoked.
yeah, finally learned how to put some muscle mass on, and the beard helps a little bit too. So, yeah, I went to a vacation with my girlfriend at the time, and she's like, "Listen, like my cousin is a freak. Like all he does is lift and work out. Like he pushed a Jeep with me into driving, like getting ready for all these like martial art competitions and all that stuff, and me being a cocky 22-year-old, and him being." What was he, like 40 at the time? I'm like, don't worry about it.
You saw, I'm sure you saw that 50-year-old picture.
Yeah.
50 ain't too bad.
No.
You kidding me?
Yeah, unreal. I thought I was doing good, and then I see pictures of him, and I'm like, nah, stop it. So, yeah, I go on vacation, and I'm like, I wasn't really working out much at the time, like push-ups, sit-ups here and there, like maybe go for a run. Like, I was young. Like, I thought I was in shape, skinny fat, right? Or like, I had abs because I was like 145 pounds, 150 pounds. So, so we end up going down to Virginia to their, like, where they vacation, and, introduce him, like hang out with him for like, maybe like 10 minutes. He's like, all right, you ready to work out? Now it's like 6 a.m. in the morning. So I'm like, okay, let's see what this guy's all about. So we did
6 a.m.
6 a.m. So we did the kettlebells.
Figures, right?
it's
typical.
It's worse now. It's 5 a.m. So
sometimes you text me and it's like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.
Yeah. And we did the kettlebell Spetsnaz program. He was beta testing it on himself, but dragged me and one of the other like husbands at the time in on it too. But we did every level. Like, so we did one workout right out. So it was 3 workouts, so it was a full hour, of training. I've never trained with kettlebells before, but I was like not going to let him show me up. So it is the only workout that I've almost thrown up doing. And I had to tap out and like say, like, I was maybe like 55 minutes into the workout, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not.
Did you play some other sports growing up?
Yeah, so I was like traditional and like East Coast is soccer, basketball, baseball, and then once I got into high school, it was just soccer and track. Actually, I like pole vaulted in college.
Nice.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Pole vaulting. That's cool.
It's totally different. It's a different animal. But and that kind of like led to how jiu-jitsu started, because like growing up playing sports and doing competitive stuff, like once I got done with college, I was like, well, I need to start doing something. So
and then Scott's kettlebell workout destroyed you.
Yeah. Then
after 55 minutes.
And then
at 6 a.m.
At 6 a.m. And then Scott's like, hey, you should try, jiu-jitsu.
At 40, he's like 40 years old.
Yeah, he had to be like 40 at the time. So yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever this guy
You're
says.
like half his age.
Yeah, and that's why I was just so pissed off that this guy just demolished me in a workout. But like the next day I woke up and I couldn't move, and I was just like, I don't know what that was, but I need to be doing it.
It's different.
And then the entire like week and a half that I was there, like built a good relationship with him. It was just like picking his brain on like, hey, what is this? Like, what do I need to know about this kind of deal? And then it might have been like 4 months later, he did the New York City cert with the NYPD.
4 months later.
So like, he's like, listen, I'm going to be by you. I'm just outside New York City. He's like, I want you to come and like experience this. So he sent me like a couple of the programs. He's like, just start learning. So
just do it.
just do it. Yeah, he's just like, just start following him. Whatever you need, like, let me know. I'll help you out. So I was doing like the Spetsnaz program and went to the NYPD's, and he was doing like all the body movement stuff. And I was like, Scott, this is nothing what you sent me. He's like, just act like you know what you're doing. And ever since then, that's like what I've been doing. And just, you know,
he's been mentoring you ever since.
Yeah. And that's like like I said, 9 or 10 years. It's kind of like just following his lead. And then now, like, I've gotten to the point that he calls me. He's like, hey, what should I do in this situation? Or, you know, what should I, like, you know, I got a guy that has like these issues. Like, what do I do? And I'm like, all right, like, take this mobility, take this compensation, activate with this drill. And he's like, all right, thanks. And then,
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a true leader right there, right? When he's humble enough to ask his people, yeah,
for the help, yeah,
students,
yeah. So like, it's kind of nice to hear that.
Teach back, right?
Yeah. So and then like we bounce back and forth then on ideas where he'll actually like say, hey, what do you think about doing this? And I'm like, all right, well, what about this perspective? And it's just like, oh, I didn't think about that, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to be involved in it and see it and, you know, see it grow. And you know, you're always learning from them. So.
And so you went to college. You became an athletic trainer.
Yeah, so I'm a certified athletic trainer in a high school. Man, I've done a lot of cool stuff. I've worked professional sports, international sports, big high schools, Division I colleges, and now I'm at like one of the smallest public schools in New Jersey.
Oh wow!
Which I love because it's such a small, tight-knit community. I know all the athletes. They know me. Like, they know what I expect. So I've gotten to really like spend a lot of time teaching them different things that I normally wouldn't be able to do when I'm at a bigger school.
Bigger team, yeah.
So like I've helped out with the strength and conditioning programs. I've helped run the weight room. I kind of supervised that, implemented TACFIT, but modified it to, you know, traditional weightlifting because it's a bunch of old school coaches there.
So you have to work in their language.
Yep. So like I'm like, hey, like let's do deadlifts and squats but let's do this beforehand.
Let's do some shin boxes before.
Yeah. Let's loosen everything up. Let's do some, you know, pigeon pose afterwards. So, you know, their minds are blown when we do a little bit of yoga. And it's taken a long time for it to kind of like catch on and they understand it. But I've proven myself, and, you know, like being the athletic trainer, I keep stats of all the injuries we have. That's mainly what I'm dealing with. So
what are the most common injuries? What sport mainly?
I cover all of them. So any like sport that the high school offers, like I deal with it. Football obviously is one of my bigger ones. So ankle sprains, knee issues, concussions obviously is a big topic nowadays, but like lately low back issues have been a large concern. So, but you know, when I was running the weight room, you know, the 2 years prior, I kept stats on the injuries, and I think I dropped the majority of the injuries at least 50%.
Wow.
Once so like, that's why, like, you know, Scott's always like data, keep track of it all. Like, that's why I followed it. And I was just like, all right, well, if this is what Scott's telling, you know, he's telling me to do.
Amazing.
So now, you know, it's great to see. And
how do you deal with concussions?
So it's kind of,
it's nice. It's evolved, right? The last few years.
Yeah. And so I've been certified now, 10 years. So within the 10 years, it's a totally different ballgame. You know, when I first started, it was like, oh, you don't have a headache anymore. Like, go run around a little bit, get back in there. Now it's like there's state laws and protocols. Like, you have to wait until they're symptom free. And then once they're symptom free, you know, it's a 5-day return to play before they could play in a game. And every day it's a progression of like,
what are some of the symptoms?
Headache, blurred vision, nauseous, dizzy, confusion, sensitivity to light. So I see like a lot of issues, obviously kids on their phone all the time. So like when they're scrolling through Instagram, like they get nauseous because the screen's moving up, or every kid has headphones in nowadays. So the loud music, like that'll give them headaches and cause some issues. So
disconnected.
Yeah. So it's kind of nice. And I like tell their parents, I'm like, hey, this is your opportunity to get them off of it. You know, let's be diligent about it. So.
And so, you know, you help them with that. And then, so you're at the small school. How does it compare to being at like a, you know, bigger team? Like a D1 school, or what are some of the teams that you've worked with?
I worked for the Jamaican national soccer team. I've worked for the Red Bull soccer program.
Oh, nice.
from their like U5 to U21 teams. So I've got to see like a lot of kids that I've worked with go, professional soccer players or, Division I wrestlers that won national, like the NCAA tournament. It's definitely like the level of talent is slightly different, like when I've worked at even like high school to high school, and I've worked like a big high school, I had a lot of D1 prospects. So the quality of talent is just like amazing to watch. So it's beautiful to see sports played at that level, even for kids at such a young age, where at like a smaller school, you don't necessarily see that. Every so often you get a kid that's extremely gifted that comes through, that just surprises everyone. But at those bigger schools, you're going to see, the level of talent is significantly better.
How has TACFIT helped you as an athletic trainer?
It's funny because, thinking about this, athletic training is kind of, I'm sitting around watching sports. The majority of it is just sitting there watching sports. And then, when things go bad is when I have to jump into action. So being able to like de-stress instantly, to think about like, all right, what's going on? How do I handle this? We had an issue with a parent actually in the stands maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And so like someone had screamed my name, I run over there and I start to like process the information, but in the background I'm hearing like pure panic of everyone behind me. But I'm like, no, I got to focus on what I need to do, like what's happening, what's going on, like, all right, what do we do now, like what the whole process is. But it's amazing to see how calm I could be in that situation, because I'm like recovery breathing as I'm running over there to learn how to process like what's going on. And then everyone else like trying to block out that background noise and not be distracted. So TACFIT with like staying in tune with your body and like in the moment, in the movement, like breath, like all that, like translates over without realizing it. So you've
done your reps, huh?
Yeah,
So
I've done my reps. So it's a mental practice too about like when I'm thinking about TACFIT, I'm like, all right, like what am I trying to do? So if I'm sitting at work, I'm like, hey, what if this person gets hurt? So it's it's the mental reps then too. The TACFIT has obviously taught me to,
How has TACFIT helped your jiu-jitsu?
Oh man,
journey? Because you've been 7 years, right?
Yeah, just shy 7. TACFIT.
I mean, 9,
sorry. TACFIT 9.
Jiu-jitsu 7 years.
Yeah.
TACFIT 9 years. So it's.
I pick it up real quick, and the movements are easier for me. One, I think, because I'm a little bit more mobile. So like moving through some things are pretty easy for me. There's not a lot of limitations. But just there's similar movements. So when I say like, hey, let's do like an S-sit, it's like a shin box, or like it's a natural movement for me that like I'm like, wait, you guys can't do that? Like, all right, why? Like, let me think about another way to teach it or to show it to you guys so that you guys get it. But for me, it came natural because it's a TACFIT movement, and I've repped it, how many times. Yeah. So the thing I'm, in my jiu-jitsu career now that I'm starting to realize is the breath. And that was the workshop I was out here last time for, which I think totally changed my jiu-jitsu, is like trying to stay calm.
Showing.
Yeah. Well, it's staying calm while in a terrible situation. Like someone's trying to like physically hurt you, and I'm like focused on my breath that, hey, this is bad, but it's not that bad. Like, how do I get out of it? And then like it's gotten to the point that I'm so in tune with my own breathing and like how to stay calm that I can hear my opponent's breathing. And I'm like, oh, he's exhausted. Like, I know he's mouth breathing. Like, time to turn it up. Like, this is my chance to make a move. So, it's interesting to see like the leaps and bounds that like TACFIT creates. Like, I come out here for a seminar and a workshop, and I'm breathing, and now that translates over to my jiu-jitsu, which like translates over to my team's jiu-jitsu, because I'm like, hey, you guys need to learn this because like it's working so well for me. You guys need this. So like I pass it on to my team at Silver Fox, and like I'm like, and like everyone's listening now. So like,
it takes time.
They're excited for me to come back from this workshop from this weekend because they know I'm going to come back with some cool stuff.
Nice.
So
very cool.
But I've seen it, like I've done a lot of personal training now too. So like teaching everyone TACFIT, we do a lot of body movement flow, especially for my jiu-jitsu guys. Like a lot of my clients are just, from my jiu-jitsu academy. So their jiu-jitsu is getting better because of the TACFIT and the flow fit movements that we've been
getting more
training.
coordinated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being able to train more.
Well, like the lack of injuries, the lack of back pain or neck pain that, you know, they're sitting at a desk all day and then they're like, hey, no, I can go train jujitsu because like my neck doesn't hurt anymore. So
that's awesome.
Or like people in the academy will come up to me and be like, hey, like I got this shoulder issue going on. Like, what do you suggest? And I'm like, all right, I got a couple TACFIT movements for you. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Man, I saw some pictures when you were like 20, 21, I guess when you first met Scott.
Yeah.
And then the pictures that you post now, is that from TACFIT? What is that?
No, that's all like,
now you're yoked.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta say, Scott sends me workouts and I beta test a lot of stuff for him. And I just, you know, I'm the type of person that if this is what you want me to do, like I will follow it to the T. And you could ask Scott this story. He sent me a workout, and with his dyslexia and my like desire to be competitive, like I did. Scott will say sets on sets on sets. So like Scott sent me a workout.
Sets on sets on sets.
So Scott sent me a workout. It was supposed to be like this, but then like I like tripled it, and I did it, and I texted it back to him, and he called me. He's like, "What did you just do? You did like triple the workout." And I'm like, "No. This is what you said." And he's like, no, I didn't say to do that much. And I'm like, well, I did it. And like the competitor in me knew he did it faster. So I was pushing harder to try to keep up with him, not knowing that I was doing triple the amount of work that he had done. And yeah, so that's our little, so whenever he sends me a workout, he has to like verify that I understand like what it is and that his terminology.
Amount of reps.
Yeah. So no, yeah, it's been a fun experience. I've like learned a lot, so I'm trying to I've realized it's not a race, right? Like, so it's long term. So like I'm trusting the process journey. Now, and like it's just an experience, and I'm enjoying this path, and wherever it's taking me, you know, whatever the results are, you know, it's been a lot of fun. So
yeah, what was your journey to get certified in TACFIT, and then your journey to team leader? You know, so it's curious to hear people's stories. I was talking to Nestor yesterday actually about it.
About his whole journey?
Yeah. From level 1 to TACFIT team leader to the level 2.
I think the first time I went, we did Vitor Shalin's gym in New York City. We had this cert. Scott was like, hey, listen, like if you're interested in this, like you should cert. Like you'll pass. Like you'll do good. He's like, I've trained with you. You know what you're doing. Yeah. You know, but you need to get that experience of being at the cert, get certified, like learn the whole process. So I'm like, all right, sure, no problem. So like we built out the program, like I followed it. And I went into the cert and I said, I don't want to pass because I'm, you know, Scott's family, like cousin, you know, like, so I laid low. Like I didn't talk to many people. Like I didn't want to like people to know who I was or the connection between us. Like I want to pass because my reps counted. My technique was awesome. Like, I just wanted to be a regular person. You know, I didn't like. I don't want to like talk to anyone and say like, oh yeah, like so. Favoritism. Yeah, anything like that. Legit. I wanted to be like totally legit. And so went through the weekend seminar, and there everyone's like announcing their scores, and at the end of it, and you know they asked for my score, and you know I tell it to him, and Scott just looks at me, and he just like a smirk came over his face, and then like. Scored the highest in the class, and you know, and he just came over. He's like, "Wow, I'm super proud of you." He's like, "I saw what you did, like not telling anyone who you were, like you just grinded. You did what you needed to do. You know, you did it perfect." Like he's like, "I was watching you. I was counting like all the reps. Like the numbers were on. They didn't fluff it. It was you know
legit."
So like I knew that he was watching me, so I knew I couldn't like half-ass it. Like everything had to be on point because I knew he would fail me because I know he holds me in such a high standard that he wouldn't allow that. So
people think you're like favoritism, but the favoritism is actually harder for you. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Once I had that experience and like I've done a couple seminars with Scott after that, you know, traveling around, helping him out some certain places, you just kind of get involved and you're like, I get it. And like, I learn it. Like I want more. So that's when team leader comes in. And then you realize like how difficult it is. You know, like I did it one time just for shits and giggles to see how difficult it was.
You did foxtrot for shits and giggles?
Yeah. Because sometimes
reps on reps on reps.
reps on reps on reps, you know. So sometimes you have to you got to see what the beast is
Yeah.
to understand like what it's
See
going to
how
take to
far you can-
overcome. And then you get quickly humbled. And then you realize like,
How
hey,
long did it take you to do the foxtrot for the first time?
man, it's been a while. It was a while.
Yeah,
It took a while.
Yeah.
But I knew what I needed to do. And Scott's like, hey, you know what you have to do now. Let's go to work. So it's just, he's on me. Like, him and I text every day. It's like, hey, this is what your workout was. This is your time. Like, how'd you feel? Like, and it's always a back and forth. And, he keeps me accountable. So then, like you guys do now. So it's a nice community to say, hey, like I got this issue. Like, what did you do? And like you get other people's perspectives on like how to go about taking it or
The team, the group.
yeah. And it's just nice to bounce ideas off. And, so then I tested for it and passed it. And
You went to Bellingham?
yeah, so did it there. And, it's when we met. So
That was that year?
yeah. So,
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know
like,
that.
yeah, I was a little shell shocked meeting you. Like, I forget who I was talking to and talking to like a group of people. And then all of a sudden, Scott tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, you got to meet someone. I turn around, there you are. I'm like, holy, you're a legend. Like, and here you are in Bellingham.
That's cool.
Like,
that was that same year, huh?
yeah. So it's
Nice.
one of those things that like,
You've been around for so long. That's really cool.
But like we're in the small
for sure.
gym, and like here's Alberto
Bellingham,
Green
right?
in Bellingham, like showing up like nonchalant.
2 hours from Canada, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think actually
So
when
far
I
north.
flew in, like we went over Canada and
Right?
came back into the airport. So
It's like it's 2 hours from Seattle, like north, with
yeah,
2 or
I
3
think
hours.
2 hours. Yeah, 2 or 3 hours north of Seattle. So yeah, it's up there, man.
One exit away from Canada,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. On the water. Yeah. It was a cool experience. So
What did it feel like when you passed?
it's just a giant sigh of relief, right? So I think your documentary where you videoed it and like it's just like the flood of emotions of like you're like finally like all this hard work paid off, like because like going through it you question yourself a lot. You're like, is this worth it? Like, am I gonna pass?
Do I have what it takes?
Do I have what it takes? Like, I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to embarrass Scott. I don't want to embarrass like the community, like my family, like I talk about this stuff all the time, and
You're wise.
yeah, so it's one of those things that like, if I'm going to do it, I want to blow this thing out of the water. So,
And you're just competing with yourself.
yeah.
That's what I love about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a masterpiece.
Yeah, so it used to be I was competing with everyone else in the community, and then I've realized that like everyone's different, and everyone's in their own spot and their own journey on this path, like helping each other along. But like it's me versus me. So like I think once I've made that switch, it totally changed how my training's been going. Because like if I have a shitty workout, like it just wasn't there that day, and I'm okay with that. I won't redo that workout now. Like normally I'd be so mad. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it later. I'm gonna redo it. And like part of me is just like, no, you need to redo it. Like depending on what it is, if I just missed it or whatever the case is. But now most of the time it's just like, you know what, stress of work and like
We're all on our own path.
yeah. So I'm like,
So
I'll get it.
doing your best
I'll
is
get
what
it.
it's all
Yep.
about.
Yeah. So
Winning over your demons, your doubts, your fears.
and I think that's been like a huge thing, in my journey is like once I made that switch, it's just everything got that much easier. My workouts got that much better. Confidence got that much better. It's
Your life,
everything, everything.
mindset.
Yeah.
how you tackle things.
Yeah. And then that translates over to work and,
Right.
just, it's a great thing. It's a fun thing to realize. So,
What does Scott mean to you?
man, he is one of my best friends. He's been there through a large aspect of my life now. That no matter what time I could call him, I could reach out to him. He's been such a role model. I mean, look at him. 50 years old, crushing it. And like I don't like
Example. He jumped on the mat with 20-year-olds
and was
like it was nothing. He's not training jiu-jitsu every day. He just jumped on the mat like nothing.
yeah,
Looked like a kid.
He put a beating on me the last time I was here, and like I was like, no, like this shouldn't be working out like this. I want to get one on you, but yeah, no, he's been such a positive role model, and like wait till you see him now because him and I talk about our workouts, and he's killing me in like our workouts. Like he's doing stuff that I'm like I'm not even there. Like how? Like I thought I was getting good, and
all
of a sudden
he's 50, right? But he's getting younger. He's
and he's getting faster and stronger, and I'm like, no, like that's supposed to be me. Like stop, that's me. Stop doing that. Like, but yeah, so I got to talk to him because he's holding something out on me, and I don't like it. So, but no, like he's a huge inspiration. Like every day, like I work as hard as I do because like he's instilled that in me, and it's just a great atmosphere to be around. Like he's funny, he's relaxed when he needs to be, but like when we walk into the gym, you know, hey, it's all business. Like time to go to work, time to be professional, you know. But as soon as we can get outside and we're hanging out in the group, it's, you know, like you don't have to be.
You can be yourself.
Yeah, you can be yourself, and that's what he wants. And like I've learned to have that on-off switch now, and because of him, so it's you know, and he brings like-minded people around. So my friend group has changed because, you know, I talk to you now. Like like I come here, it's such a great environment. Like there's a lot of people that would have never have met or like hung out with, you know, if it wasn't for him. So I'm so thankful for that.
Nice. You excited about TACFIT? What's going on with TACFIT now?
Yeah, I'm excited for you and where this is gonna take us. And I tell you all the time, like I'm here for it. Like I've been here for it for forever. I've supported it for forever. So I'm ready to work. And
what has been some of your frustrations with, I don't know, in the past?
You know, it's interesting.
Or things that you have that you wished for.
One thing that I really do enjoy now is the community aspect of it. Where I know we had a community aspect of it, but it was like cliques almost. Right. Where, you know, I'm from New Jersey.
You're East Coast.
East Coast, and no one was from, you know, we had maybe like, and I'm just like, hey guys, like, I'm still over here. Like, so it's been nice that like we can like talk all the time. Like it doesn't matter the time of day. We reach out to each other. You know, Jonathan in Atlanta, or, you know, it's whoever is around. Like it's a community that like everyone's open to talking about and
helping each other get better.
Bouncing ideas off of each other. Like, hey, what do you do for this? Or like, I think everyone's a little bit more humbled and willing to talk about it instead of like, no, this is what we're doing, and you know,
the only way.
Yeah. So like, you know, I talked to I was talking to Jonathan even the other day. He's like, hey, what do you think about this? I'm like, this is how I do it. Like, but like I had this going on. He's just like, oh, I like that. Like he's like, this is how I normally do it. I'm like, oh, I like that. Like. So, like, depending on the situation, things go a little bit differently, but it's nice to bounce ideas off of coaches. How
amazing is that? You coach people, right? You've Jonathan, and then they get good enough that they coach you back, right?
Yeah, like he'll like pick up a little detail, and I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Like, I didn't see that one. Or like I'll pick something up.
You have to be open to it, right?
Yeah,
you know,
it's an ego thing, right. So it's one of those things that like everyone brings their own experience, which I think has been phenomenal because everyone's got different backgrounds. Like you with jiu-jitsu, me with athletic training, you know, Jonathan with like personal training. Like that's 3 totally different careers. And now we can come in, teach the same program from 3 different viewpoints. So I see it from like an injury prevention, athletic performance. You know, Jonathan sees it for like the daily person that he's training. You see it from a martial arts standpoint and the clientele that you might have here. So we bring all that together and we're like, hey, like this is how I see it. Then you learn that from me and I learn it from you. Now I go back to New Jersey and teach that there. And, you know, it's like a weird situation on like learning from everyone. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. So that's the one thing I'm excited for, and to see like how this all starts coming together now. It's
been cool. You know, I mean, I met Scott. I mean, now it's been 2007, so 13 years ago. He helped me with my UFC fights, and I never stopped thinking about it ever since. It was just so different, and it blew my mind. And you know, I've been studying really, really hard. The last with all this neuroscience and
you're going really, everywhere.
Yeah, going everywhere, really trying to learn and understand. Right. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it seems like, you know, like 5 years ago, I mean, the technology and the science wasn't there to back it up. But Scott's been saying these things for 20 years.
And then now has the data and the science to prove it all.
You know, so. Like a lot of people called him a quack and he's crazy, you know, but he was right all along.
Stay the course. It'll prove itself.
You know, he did it to himself and he replicated it with others.
Mm-hmm. So no, that's why I enjoy it.
It's really exciting, you know, to be a part of this thing now. Because I think the world is ready for it.
Yeah, I
or
knew it was
maybe
only.
maybe it wasn't even 5 years ago, right?
No, I don't even think so.
Like to really fully like the general public in a way.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest issue is a lot of people have to be open-minded to it. So I think it's going to take a lot of work to get that to happen. But once you have some science and data behind it, people might believe it a little bit more, and it'll come around. I think
for sure.
Yeah, we keep grinding. It'll
No,
come
it's all the right stuff. It's the future. It's the future.
Yeah, 100%.
No doubt, no question. I know what it's done for me. I know what it's doing for others. It's all the right stuff. It's still the most complete system out there.
You can
for
call
a way of life.
You can call any of my clients. They say we don't know exactly what it is, but it's helping us. So like we promote it to everyone.
Helps you live your best life.
Yeah.
Fountain of youth. I mean, Scott's the example, right?
He is the example.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
I think that's why I try to stay in such good shape, because if I know I'm going to see him, I got to look better than him. So, yeah.
Especially when we're his age, right?
Yeah, that's the goal. So
that's it.
That's the goal.
He sets the example.
Yep.
He sets the bar really, really high.
Really high. So, yeah.
Where would you like to see TACFIT go?
I just want to see as many people doing it as possible, and doing it the way that it should be done. Just genuine, like the love and passion for it. Even if they don't fully understand it, they understand it without like understanding why they're doing it. I just want to see it like more people doing it. So we just need gyms to open up, whether we have
gyms,
whatever the
TACFIT
case
academies.
is, TACFIT academies,
obviously I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, but I see it such a perfect business thing for, if I'm talking about business aspect, for the jiu-jitsu gyms, but it can be its own thing, right? It doesn't have to be in a jiu-jitsu gym.
No, it
you just have to
pairs
do the reps
very well with one.
Right.
Yeah, but like as a standalone, like anyone can walk into the gym and benefit from it, and that's what I've seen. Like my clients, high school athletes, high school teachers, parents of my high school students, IT people, anyone I get involved with it thrives in it. And I've talked to you about that before. I said, like,
for sure,
they might not understand it, but they know it works, and that's why they will keep coming back.
That's it. People have been doing it now for over 4 years, and we have people that have been training over 4 years here. They've never stopped. And the only thing that I can kind of compare it to is jiu-jitsu.
Yes,
it's like its own
martial
arts.
Yeah,
because you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you it just becomes a part of you, right?
It's every day of my life now.
Yeah. And having a community around that, speaking of, ideas, bouncing ideas, and just doing things better, right? It's the same thing with jiu-jitsu or martial arts. Like, you need that community, right?
Look how your jiu-jitsu academy changed. You guys do TACFIT warm-ups and cool-downs now.
For sure.
Before and after class.
For sure.
I see it in my academy where people are like shin boxing before class, and I'm like, I didn't teach them that, but I know like other people, I've taught people that.
And they taught them.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's been, at the beginning, people were like resistant, but I believed in. I didn't know how everything worked, but I just wanted to do it. I knew it worked. I knew it worked.
That's all that matters. You knew it worked.
I mean, come on. Like, I was like, the first time Scott showed me how to, fix my neck, I got thrown in my head. Yeah, a little neck movement. Yep. I was like, I can heal myself with movement.
Can you believe that?
I thought you had to get surgery or, get some painkillers, right?
No.
But you can actually just
people
heal
are surprised. They're
movement.
like, no, this is stupid. And I'm like, trust me. Like, give
it
a week, give it 2 weeks. Like, I promise you will be feeling better. If not, like,
just show up.
Yeah. And they show up all the time. They're like, hey, like, it's working. And I'm like, I know. So.
Yeah. I want to see a billion people's lives changed with TACFIT.
I wonder, like, if you kind of did the math of it, like how close we are to that.
I think once the gyms aren't going to be enough, we're going to have to reach more people than that. But it's a long-term thing, right? But that's the goal.
No, you're definitely doing all the right stuff. Like,
that's the goal. We haven't even started yet, but we're assembling the team.
Yes.
That's why we're here this weekend.
That's why we're here this weekend. And there's a lot of people showing up too. So it's going to be
we have Europe, we have South America, we have Asia, Taiwan.
Wow.
We have a lot of people here. All people.
This is good.
East Coast,
East
US.
Coast, yeah.
Represent.
Yeah. How about it, Jersey?
Yeah, we got the whole country here.
No, this is good.
Old school, new school.
Yes, yeah. Eric, Isak, and Aaron.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cruz. Yeah. Aaron was like the 5th TACFIT team leader.
Yeah, they started before I did.
Yeah.
So I remember like coming to the East. I came to the West Coast for like a wedding one time, and drove from LA up to Salinas, to go train with them.
Yeah.
And then drove from Salinas all the way down to San Diego that night, just because like that's where I had to go and
train.
Yeah, just to hang out with them. Yeah.
It's cool. Things happen for a reason. You know, I could have lived in New York, and I moved to LA 12 years ago. My son's 12. Yeah, but it would have been different if I lived in New Mexico still.
Yeah,
but we live here in LA, in the middle of centrally, in a way, like the major airports. You know, Burbank. We're in Burbank, so there's also even a domestic airport.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. You know, I believe in the potential.
I'm so pumped. I'm so excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you for you know, just your example. You know, me coming up and just you believing, and I know like with Scott's, you know, your relationship with him all these years, but it's helped me.
I told you talking to you is infectious on like your vibe. Like every time we talk, I'm like, I got to go do a TACFIT workout. Like I need to go do something. Like I'm not doing enough to promote it. Like whatever the energy that you're displaying, it's so contagious.
Yeah.
So
I love jiu-jitsu with everything I am, but you know, it needs TACFIT.
Yeah. And
I love TACFIT with everything I am. You know, it's giving me a second chance.
It is
in life with all
everyone.
The things. Yeah. And so I you know, obviously we're jiu-jitsu people. Jiu-jitsu's been my whole life. So you know, I want all my friends, you know, people, if you train enough, enough years of jiu-jitsu, like, or any other sport, right, too. But especially like jiu-jitsu, right, fighting stuff.
Yeah.
You know, your body adapts to that. You got to open yourself up. You got to keep everything moving, or else, you know, I couldn't put my seatbelt on. Do you remember me?
I remember the story.
My first cert.
Yeah, you were doing push-ups on your fist because your wrist hurt so bad.
Yeah, broke my wrist and just everything, just from the gripping all the years.
Yep.
I was a mess.
Yeah. That's what I've seen, that like people getting hurt in jiu-jitsu because of like the same positions over and over again. It's overuse. I'm like, hey, we need to start doing this, and then they come back. They're like,
just how to recover from, you know, arm bars or whatever,
or
right?
Just hard training sessions in general.
For sure,
like, Like guys are out there like pushing it to the limits. Like we have an MMA team. Like I'm like, hey, we need to do more stuff to help you guys stay healthy.
Yeah.
So
it's a process, and I think, like I said, I think the world is more open to it now.
No, 100%.
Whereas even 5 years ago, or
not as
they
much.
Weren't. Yeah, but the recovery aspect, because you can do more when you actually stretch out and release the tension in your body. You can actually do more, and you can actually be better at what you do.
Yeah. Have you had anyone?
So why wouldn't you do that?
Have you had anyone come up to you and say like, "Hey, you've been talking about this stuff for a long time, and now all of a sudden it's popular"? And I'm like, yeah. Like I've been doing it for a long time. Like I believed in it for a long time. Now, like, you know, like social media and like the influences like starting to come around to it.
Yeah, because you see people kind of doing little flows and stuff, and so they learn from somebody that learned from somebody that, you know, kind of took Scott's work, right, and just called it something else. So they don't even know where it came from.
No, they know it's movement training. So it's right. But when you see it, you're like, hey, like I know where that started from.
Yeah. It's good. It's good that the world's open to it, and I'm really proud to be a part of this system, because I know that it's still like the most complete, and it's just it's all the right stuff.
It's all the right stuff. So yeah, I mean, think about it. You can do heavy training, right? If you want to do more just like flow, body movement, you know, just yoga. Like for some people that may not want to work out, but they just want to like loosen up. You know, you can modify one TACFIT workout for someone who wants to put on size versus someone who wants to get shredded. You know, you could change they're doing the same workout, but you just changed like their intensity or their weights, like depending on what their goals are. So everyone's doing the same workout for different results. It's complete. It's awesome.
I always compare like jiu-jitsu to, well, you know, people think they want to do, you know, MMA, they watch the UFC, right? What they really want to do is jiu-jitsu, right?
Yep. Yes.
And I feel like, not to, you know, butcherize or, you know, talk bad about CrossFit, but people maybe see like the CrossFit, but what they really want to do is TACFIT.
Yes.
That's how I kind of, it's similar like that, you know?
I get a lot of CrossFit people that come to me and they're like, hey, my hips hurt. Like, what do I need to do? And I'm like, all right, I'll put you through a TACFIT workout. So
when, you know, Scott did a blog when we did our workouts back those days, and he wrote something that I never forgot. He's like, your strength conditioning should not get in the way of your sport. It should only help it.
Yeah, it should be an added tool.
Right. It should help you in your sport. Exactly.
Yep.
And you know, I was doing CrossFit actually, and you know, I got reconnected with Scott and telling him, he's like, "Oh, that's great," you know. And I would try to listen, but you know, well, the waves and all that, and taking an easy day. But you know, when they put the scores up on the board, like, you know, if you're competitive, like, you can't control yourself.
No, yeah, you want to get the
highest
highest
score. So I would kill myself to try to be
yep.
number one.
And then that affects your jiu-jitsu
Right.
and your MMA training.
And so, like CrossFit, you know, it's definitely CrossFit Games driven, right? So it's like its own sport.
Yep, it is, yeah.
But TACFIT, you can tailor to, you know,
whatever you need it to.
Exactly. If you're a CrossFitter, if you're a jiu-jitsu guy, if you're just, you know, like you work, right?
Yeah, yeah, anyone.
Yeah.
So
it's, I love it. It's the future for me. It's all the right stuff. It's all the right stuff.
It is all the right stuff. So
man. Excited to hang out with you this weekend.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for coming up and
just got off the airplane and
come do like literally quick. Right. You just got off the airplane,
walked in. You're like, hey, let's go do a podcast. I'm like, all right. I was either going to do a workout or the podcast. So yeah, we're gonna get after it this weekend. I'm super excited.
Good, man. How can people find you?
I'm on Facebook, Matt Wiss, WIS. My Instagram is Bandicoot Crash. Bandicoot Crash. It's like Crash Bandicoot. BANDICOOTCRASH. Yeah.
If they put Matt Weiss, it should come up.
For Matt. Facebook, yeah. Instagram is Bandicoot Crash. So, yeah.
Thank you, brother.
No, appreciate it. Thank you, man. Had fun. Thanks.